Medics are responding to a suspected terror attack at the Gush Etzion Junction in the West Bank. According to preliminary reports, a man in his 20s is critically wounded after a stabbing and shooting attack at a supermarket in the area. First responders say at least 2 assailants have been neutralized. The Israeli Defense Forces have confirmed they are dealing with what they call a security incident, and troops have been dispatched to the scene. Investigations into the attack are ongoing. Now we go back to our discussion with Daniel. Daniel, thank you for staying with us. What do we know so far about who was behind this suspect terror attack, if we know anything?
Well, this is new information to me, so everything I'm going to say is speculation, but I would assume it's going to be Hamas or Hamas affiliated. It could be Palestinian Islamic Jihad, which has a strong presence in the West Bank, or Judea Samaria, as some people like to call it. Hard to speculate at this point, but clearly it's a terrorist attack, and Israel is going to deal with it as it always does. And beyond that, it's very difficult to say. As I say, it's kind of new information to me. But these kind of things are unfortunately things that Israel has to deal with on a daily basis.
Yes.
And until security improves, it's going to be a feature, I think.
Yes, thank you for answering that. Regardless of, how common are attacks like this at junctions and supermarkets in the West Bank? Do we hear this often, as long as what we hear of?
Well, attacks like this do happen periodically. That is true. I think Israel has, done a quite good job of securing its own 1967 Green Line borders with those security walls, notwithstanding the obvious October 7th, 2003 attack. But yes, they do happen periodically. I think those in the West should really try to remember that Israel is in a very, very tough neighborhood. It's really surrounded by tens of millions that would prefer to see its demise, perhaps hundreds of millions, and they're all neighbors, obviously led by the head of the snake there in Tehran, Iran. Fortunately, in the West, we don't have these kind of, the frequency of these kind of terrorist attacks, but certainly Israel does, and that's why it has to react as it does, and that kind of triggers the responses that we see from Western leaders, like in Spain, relatively peaceful country which doesn't have the same kind of exposure to this kind of terrorism.
And Daniel, how might this incident impact tensions between Israeli settlers and Palestinian communities in the area?
Yes, well, relations are not great, to put it mildly. Probably not helped by things like Louis Theroux's documentary that he released this year, which give a very warped vision of the settler community. I think settler has become a kind of dirty word in Europe, perhaps not so much in the United States, where there's a bit more realism, I think, especially from this Trump administration. But yes, it's not going to help. But we'll see. This kind of thing does happen periodically.
Do you think, well, we can speculate here, but could this suspected attack lead to broader security crackdown or maybe more reprisals in the West Bank?
Certainly, absolutely. There is a cycle of violence when these incidents do happen. But as I say, I'm hesitant to speculate too much because you're just giving me this news right now. So I think I'd stop it there and let your other guest chime in.
Thank you very much, Daniel Roth, for joining us today and sharing your insight as a research director at United Against Nuclear Iran.